So you started editing videos, but it feels like chaos. So many different clips, so many different transitions, so many different things and features that you've reached a point that you don't even know what editing is about anymore. Don't worry, that's normal. Every single great video editor started exactly where you are right now. In my last video, I've covered 5 common video editing mistakes beginners make. Now in this video, we're gonna flip that around. In this video, I'm gonna break down 5 essential stages of video editing. The same workflow professional video editors use to turn clean and raw footage into powerful stories. Whether you're editing for YouTube, for short films, for social media, once you understand these stages, editing stops being a guesswork and starts being creative control. Now, the first and the most essential stage of video editing is organization. And this is where most beginners lose hours before they actually begin editing. First, what I want you to do is to organize your video edit material. And what I mean by that is that you should create a folder for each key component of your edit. One for video clips, one for audio sounds, one for music, and one for graphics. The next stage is giving names to your material. If, let's say, you filmed a video, you gotta rename them into something like video 1, stage 1, or try 1. Every single component for your video should be labeled, or else it will become a mess. You won't understand which material is which unless you click on it and actually check what it is, which is time consuming. Now, in editors like CapCut, every single timeline for every single key component of the edit, they are labeled with colors. Video has one color, audio has one color, the effect has a different color. However, if you're using an editor which requires labeling, if I was you, I would label each key component of an edit with its own unique color, just so you don't get confused. This isn't about being fancy, it's about avoiding confusion later and making your life as an editor way easier. When your timeline gets messy, your creativity suffers. A clear workspace means faster edits and less mistakes. Now here's an example of an organized project folder, and here's an example of a completely messy, unorganized folder filled with editing content, but you will simply get lost in it. Now let's move to stage 2, which is a rough cut. Now think of it like building your own video's skeleton, your video's fundamentals. What I want you to do is drag your clip onto the timeline, and don't worry about transitions, music, filters, fancy effects. We don't bother thinking about this for now. Right now we focus on telling a story. Now the next thing you should do is click on your video on the timeline and start removing dead spaces, the mistakes that you've made in your material, and remove the long pauses. And all of that can be done through cutting. You want your rough cut to flow logically from beginning to end. Now here's my tip for you. Play it back without any audio. And if you see that the story makes sense throughout the entire video, then you're on the right track. At this stage, it's all about structure. Don't get stuck with trying to fix some specific details or adding something new. We'll get to that later. And that was stage 2. Now stage 3 is also related to cutting, but let's call it fine cut. This is where editing becomes pure art. Every time you reach to this stage, you gotta ask yourself, how do I want my audience to feel? Should this scene move fast and exciting or slow and emotional? Small timing changes, trimming even half a second off a clip, can completely change the emotion of the video at that moment specifically. Also, always synchronize the cuts and transitions between your clips to the background music or background beats of your video. This is how professional edits create a flow in their videos. A great edit should feel invisible. The viewer shouldn't notice that, oh, there was a cut done in this spot, or oh, there was something else edited here. They should just feel pulled into the great story you've created. And this was the 3rd stage. Now let's move on to the 4th stage. We're moving on to the next aspect of our edit, which isn't related to clips anymore. And it's about sound design and color. First, just like I discussed in the video of common beginner mistakes, you should fix your audio. Clear the background sound, balance your levels, and use subtle sound effects for realism, like footsteps, soft ambient sound, or the whoosh sound effect between your transitions. Then bring in your music. You should choose music that is related to the tone of your video, which can be dramatic, which can be sad, which can be happy. It's completely up to you. Now, here's my small tip for you. Always lower the music volume whenever someone's talking in the video. This will keep your video both interesting to listen, and at the same time, the user won't get bored because there's music playing in the background. Now let's talk about colors. Start with color correction. Fix the exposure, the white balance, and contrast, of course, so your video looks natural. Then apply color grading, which CapCut has too, by the way. There are specific color wheels that can help you to fix your color grading. Maybe warmer tones for edits that tell stories, or colder for something techie related. Now I'm just giving examples. It's completely up to you which color grading to use. Now, don't overdo it, because subtle color correction will make your video look natural and more cinematic. If you apply too much of it, your video will simply look fake. Now, the fifth and last stage. And it's a final stage when you've done your color grading, when you've added your cool music and sound effects, when you've checked and cut through your entire clip. This is when you export and review your video. Once your edit looks great, it's time to finalize it, but don't rush. First, you have to double check with your settings, the resolution, the frame rate, the format too, just to make sure everything about your video satisfies you. Always export your short test clip because it will give you a rough idea of what your video looks like. And then after that, you can move on to your full render. It will save you a lot of time if something about your video looks off. And after doing all that, I want you to watch your video either on your phone, your laptop, TV, doesn't matter. You have to do this in order to see if everything about your video looks good when a viewer casually watches it. And what I'm saying is brightness, transitions, audio, because when you view in your video editor, sometimes it may look cleaner than it truly is. I want you to upload it somewhere, send it to your laptop, and just check. Open the file and check what your video looks like. Fully rewatch it. And if you're satisfied with the results, this means your video is ready. Great editors don't just edit, they review. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly recap what the 5 stages of video editing are about. The first is organization, preparing your workspace. The second is rough cut, building the structure of your video. The third is fine cut. This is where you shape the story and the rhythm. The fourth stage, sound and color. This is where you add life and emotion to your edit. And the last stage is when you export and review it. This is where you finalize your edit and see if there are anything that requires fixing. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to check out my previous video, which was, like I said, about 5 common mistakes video editors make as beginners. Just check it out and see if there are any mistakes that you've made before as a video editor, and see if that video helps you. And next week, I'll take you through my own personal video editing workflow using all stages that I've listed in this video, step by step in real time. So make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you don't miss out on next videos, and tell me in the comments which stage of video editing you find the most difficult. I'll see you guys later, and take care.